What's going on, YouTube? It's Donnie B all day. Always rolling with the classics. Oh, yeah. So, all right, speaking of classics, I'm bringing you a Gerber today. Now, this is the Bear Grylls lockback. Now, I brought you the Bear Grylls tinderbox, and that thing was so nice. The Bear Grylls tinderbox is a must-have for campers and survivalists and things like that. So I ordered this guy thinking if that Bear Grylls tinderbox is so good, then maybe he's not putting his name on a bunch of garbage. So I ordered this right away thinking it's got to be at least decent. Now immediately the nylon case is pretty sweet. You know, it says Gerber on it. It's got the Bear Grylls right there, the autograph, you know, put in there. And then you open it up and you're like, well, it's a nice stiff case too. It's not a flabby case. So kudos on the case. It was really nice. But then you pull out the knife and it's like, okay, well, it doesn't feel wonderful. It doesn't feel bad, but not wonderful. So it opens up pretty good. And you look at it and you go, okay, well, maybe it doesn't look like it's going to be impressive, but who knows? Maybe it is. And the part that bugs me, really bugs me in the grip and overall feel is this. First, let's go over this handle. It's a rubber grip. It's just textured rubber grip. You do have your lockback up top. You have your lanyard hole. And then you have a whole lot of plastic. And all this orange right here is plastic. And when you're talking about, you have a couple areas jimping, here, all nice jimping. You have a nice finger swell there, a nice finger notch there. This is all nice. The overall grip shape is comfortable, but when you put your thumb on this jimping area right here, it is so slick. The reason for jimping is to create grip, and this jimping doesn't really create any grip. I'm assuming if it wasn't there, it'd be super slick, but it's just, it's a little cheap feeling for my taste and what I expected out of it, right? So you have that. You have your tensioner screw right there. You know, this is what holds on your lug. And I'm pretty sure, I haven't tried because it's just a double star bit on both sides. I don't know if you can or cannot do that. Now, it comes pretty stiff. However, when I'm talking about, you know, a utility knife for out in the woods, I really don't need it to be a fast opening knife because it's not made for, you know, the need for speed, basically. So let's go over this blade now. It says Gerber on it. It's got the little bear signature. We got dual thumb studs, which I like. It is a drop point blade, which I like. It's partially serrated, and it's not the flat serrades, so they will dull over time. And it's got a nice little swedge, so penetration is going to be good if you have to go through things. So if you're coming down through a hide or whatever, or if you're, you know, cutting yourself up a tarp or anything to create yourself some kind of tent living, you'll be fine with that. The edge feels pretty sharp. I don't have too much hair on here, but we'll see what oh, hey, even though it's just stubbles, it's actually really well in the shaving game. So you can see all those hairs right there. Came sharp. This is my first. I've had this thing for about 6 months, somewhere in there, maybe more. I have no idea how long I've had it. I've had it for quite a while, just sitting, waiting to be tested. And the reason it's been sitting is because I picked it up the first time, so excited about this knife, and I put my thumb there and I went, man, I'll save it for another day. This is another day. So basically, we're just going to roll with it. This part of the grip is really comfortable. Oh, the blade is 7CR17 MOV. I think that's what it is. Yeah, it's exactly what it is. So let's bring it out there and tool around with it. Now, this is not a knife you're going to be spinning around in your hand. You know what I mean? Bringing it from one side to the other, yeah, but as far as turning, it's not that kind of knife. You know, the weight is all in the rear from just beyond the access point. So It is what it is. It's literally just a survival utility knife. Oh, you know what we didn't get is measurements. So let's measure this thing. Closed, we are looking at about 4 3/4 closed. Open, we are looking at closing. It's closing on the open. So we are looking at about 8 1/2. And that means we have a 3 3/4 inch blade. All right, so we're all measured up. Let's go cut some stuff. Come on. All right. Let's see if we can't get the old Bear Grylls to work. Do a couple of 4-foot straight drops. And it drops pretty well. It gets good bite just from, and that's the good thing about that swedge tip, is it bites pretty well. The penetration factor is going to be there just because of that tip. A couple of hard downward throws. Ooh, wow, that buried itself in there. Let's see how well. Wow, that is buried in there. Holy mackerel, it literally. I was trying to show you guys and y'all took a nap on me. That's kind of rude. But see if I can't get you back up there. Let's see, I have you balancing in the worst way. So let me try and refix that. That should be better. All right, so there's no loosening. No, nothing happened. There's no wiggling. It closes. It opens. Let's test this lock. And let's see. It closes. It opens. It stays locked. And still, there's no wiggling. So, I may have been an idiot for assuming that it was cheap because this one area. But let's find out. Hard plastic rubber hose. Yep. Yep, a little vacuum cleaner hose action, and it's opening right up. This camera does not want to stay in focus today. All right, so let's see. Yeah, and yeah, and yeah, and yeah. So far, I haven't gotten to do anything with it yet, but the stuff I have, this sure is working. All right, so let's take a little bit of this, some nice hardwood, and let's see if we can't. Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's see how that edge looks. Perfect, of course. Of course, I'm going to take this, Bear Grylls Gerber and say to you guys, this is going to be kind of crappy, and then start using it and go, this is going to be kind of nice. Let's see here. Ooh, man, that's got some serious bite. Serious bite. Let's see. Alright, so they're all flaking off here, but the ones that stayed on, you can see are very, very fine curls. And that's the kind of stuff there that makes for a good fire. So let's see. And I was using both the serrated and the flat edge for that, kind of going back and forth. Not on purpose, I was just moving so fast it kept transitioning up. But it was working. Man, this thing carves really, really well. I mean, really, really well. The edge is a dandy. It is a dippin' doodly dandy. And I have to say, if you're gonna make, tent spikes or arrows or darts, or if you're gonna use it for pit spikes, things like that, or just sharpening your pencil, this guy is good. This guy is pretty good. Look at that. Look at that, man. I wonder, just for the sake of wonderment. Whoa, knocked it down. Knocked it down. Down to the ground. So, it's able to cut through twigs. Let's see, some kindling. Let's see some kindling here. I want to give it a little harder shot. Really, really test the shot. Let me see if everything's going to be holding up. Okay, so far so good. Let's do that again. Let's test it. Everything opens, everything closes, everything's still tight. There's no spacing. I'm trying to find out if there's any loosening from all that, and there is none. Any damage on the edge? There is none. Any damage on the stick? There is plenty. So, all right, so far, so good. Let's go see if we can't swat away something here. All right, before we get to where I wanted to get to, let's do a little chopping on this pallet here. And we will see if this little guy, oh my goodness. So can it make some holes? Absolutely. So obviously, being a lockback, it's not a chopper, but obviously it is chopping. So let's see, there's no wiggling, no wobbling. This thing is out to make me look like an idiot, and I'm happy for that, because I would rather me be wrong and the knife work than me be right and the knife not work. So everything I thought about this knife has so far not come to pass, not come to fruition, not come to be true. Let's go with this guy right here. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. I got some of these milkweed stems growing up here. Look at that. World's smallest machete right there. All right, so now this is a big thorn bush right here. So let's get off a couple of these little guys so I don't catch my fingers in the swat. See if we can't get through this real quick. Holy moly, that was smooth. Held up by a vine, we cut the vine. All right, so far this thing's working. All right, we got a 1-inch forestry here. Let's see if we can't get through that. It's solid. Oh my goodness. All right, all right. It's showing me something. It's showing me something. Look, look at the size. Let me see, I gotta get around stuff here. Gotta get around stuff. The size of this blade compared to that, just, I mean, one swat, they're the same thickness. Gotta say, it's impressing me over here. It's impressing me over here. All right, let's do something I've only done with the cold steel Kobun. All right, because I had enough faith in that tip. It's an armor piercing tip. I want to try and go through a metal paint can lid. And that was absolutely no problem. No damage on the tip. No damage on the edge. Metal lid. All right. All right. So far, so good. So I got another plan here. Got another plan, Stan. I want to try and throw this. Now, obviously, it's the first time I've ever used it. So I've never thrown it. There's a target 5 yards away. The problem with a knife that's not made to be thrown is it doesn't always throw correctly. So when you throw a lockback and it lands in an area where you're hitting here or hitting there, they generally separate or break or this and that. So we're going to hopefully not let that happen. But if it happens, it happens. Well, it was definitely a miss. But the good thing about a miss on a lockback is we could see if there's anything broken, anything loosening, and there is not. All right, let's back up again here. Oh, that was right there. All right, so I kind of think I know where I need to throw it. So far, I didn't break the plastic. All right, let's see. Let's see if we can get this thing around. Oh, I think I got it around too far. Let's see, no breaking. All right, so far this thing is holding up. A little bit of abuse here. All right, kind of had a feeling. It was getting there. It was getting there. That's a nice straight throw too. The one before it, I got excited and I just threw too hard. The one before, the one right before it, I knew exactly what I needed to do. But then I threw too hard. So, how is this thing, man? The little Bear Grylls, you know, lockback. And when Bear Grylls does a product, it's one of those, you know, because he does his survival show, it's hey, can you use this to survive with? And if this is not going to be your, you know, your main knife, your big guy out in the woods or whatever, yeah, this is great. This is great for a companion type knife. However, let's say now you're talking about Well, okay, it's good for being a companion knife, but what about if it's the lockback, because he does those things where, okay, I'm stuck out here. I didn't expect to be stuck. Luckily, I found a broken down motorcycle with a bunch of stuff that's never near a broken down motorcycle, and I'm going to use it to build myself a log cabin and MacGyver the crap out of things. Well, it's generally unrealistic situations that he puts you in. However, they are situations that a person, yeah, they could be in. So if he was doing a show where he needed just a lockback to perform certain tasks to keep him alive, can I create a spark with this? Absolutely. Can I cut kindling with this? Absolutely. Can I create other weapons with this? Absolutely. Can I make pit spikes to protect a sleeping area, a camp area? Absolutely. Can I go through hide to cut up animal? Absolutely. Can I lash this onto a stick and use it as a spear? Absolutely. So can I use this knife, as a survival knife, a survival lockback, and a primary tool to survive? Absolutely. Should I? Absolutely not. This shouldn't be your survival choice, but this does make a very good go-along knife. The weight isn't too bad. The comfort is pretty good. This was the only thing that got to me, and I let it sit for months because I just didn't like that. And now that I've used it, I can honestly say that this is a good little camp bag knife. You can put this in your go bag or your bug out bag, whatever you want to call it, or just with your camp gear. And you can use this thing, man. You can use this thing for fish and small game and different things like that, or just your basic camp needs. Or if you're bored at a campsite and you just want to sit around and whittle, this will get the job done. So the Bear Grylls lockback from Gerber. Does it work? Abso-freaking-lutely. This thing will get the job done. I held off on it for no good reasons. So, not bad. Remember, if you want to see a bunch of more knives and you want, you have requests for knives, don't be afraid to hit that little donate button right there in the upper corner. It says PP, that's PayPal. Donate, we'll see what we can get out. And at least just hit like and subscribe. And the more money I make, the more money the channel makes. And that means every cent I make on this channel is going to go toward getting new blades and new things to do for the channel. This is not pocket money. I already have that. This is strictly page money. So anything that comes through, and that means every time you guys like and watch a video, then there's going to be a couple of cents added on to those totals, and that couple of cents is going to add up and buy more knives. So that's it, man. That's what we got. The Gerber lockback. I dig it. I'm Donnie B all day. What's up? Until next knife.